Hi. I'm just making this as a really quick intro. I filmed the Minster of St George, the Church of St George, on on Christmas Eve last year. So like Christmas Eve this year. It's really interesting footage. Now, because it was so windy outside, I'm voice-overing the very start of it. For the first 5 minutes, it's going to be in like a segment of this and the voiceover bit attached, and then part two I've got the original footage intact inside the Minster because it was Christmas Eve, so it was still open, which was amazing because, it was amazing. It was empty of anyone but like church people, kind of people. I don't mean that nastily. When I was filming inside, I felt quite limited as to what I could really say because I was being like really monitored on the way around there. There was like ears everywhere. And so there is some stuff that I say in the inside footage, which I really wasn't thinking at the time of saying it, but I'm trying to point things out which are really, really occultic and esoteric, whilst my phone is never on noise usually. I'm just going to put it on silent so that doesn't happen again. Yeah, I'm trying to point things out which are of massive esoteric and occult meaning, without getting thrown out of the church. So I do say certain things there, which is a little bit cringy for me to listen back, but there's a reason why I say it like that. Anyway, I'm going to do the voiceover, so this doesn't need to be long, because I'm going to keep talking over the first 5 minutes, and then part two will be the footage inside. And if you're seeing this, I'm going to do the playlist on my 15 minutes, on my main channel, the channel which I upload everything to. Still being on the 15-minute ban, I make it into playlist now, so it'll still flow. So it's only going to be very short, the first part, and then the second part will flow out immediately afterwards. But I'll upload it intact, obviously, to my backup channel, seeing as I can. Why not? Anyhow, so yeah, I'm a little bit behind because I've done the New Year's Day thing, but I haven't done anything since Christmas Eve because I don't like editing stuff. I don't like looking back at myself. And I know it sounds ridiculous. It's so short ago, so short a time ago. Really, Christmas Eve, isn't it? I just felt so lucky, and it was just so cool being in there on Christmas Eve. I know it sounds like maybe a bit silly, a bit daft, and I don't mean this all about the birth of Christ even. I just mean to be in somewhere so hugely historically significant on Christmas Eve when they're all buzzing around, knowing the dark side of Christianity. And this church is really a cult. It's quite something to look at. It really is. It's very well. Look, watch the footage and see for yourselves. And yeah, feel free to comment. And please do watch inside, because outside, there's only 5 minutes of the outside footage, and then there's 15 minutes filmed inside. Hence why I'm just over the time barrier, and I can't cut the outside out and just show the inside, because there's no context, is there? So please watch. I hope you enjoy, and feel free to comment and share if you like. All right then. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. Hello everybody. Okay, so this was on Christmas Eve of 2015, and we were down by the Minster in Doncaster. Absolutely fascinating building. I've only voice-overed the outside because it was so windy you really can't hear what I'm saying. So basically, I thought, first off, I thought the lights were quite interesting behind me there. They look quite, it all looks very trippy. So I'm just saying where I am. I'm by the York Minster. There's no more footage of me. It's all the externals of the church coming up now, as you will see. So here it is. It is so grand, and you can see it from the whole town stretched out. There's nowhere, I've yet to see anywhere in the town from a 5-mile radius where you can't see this Minster. It really is a central point. It's very interesting because it was originally a Roman fort, and the original church was really humble, but it got burnt down in 1853, where it then, long story short, was rebuilt. Within 7 days, they had raised over £11,000. Even Queen Victoria broke her rules and gave £100 to this restoration fund. This was back in 1853. The fire was on the 28th of the 2nd, 1853, which numerically is an 11. Okay, I was just zooming down to the moon there because that's, obviously it was looking quite glorious, especially in the flesh. Just to like skim over the history of this really fast, the long and short is it's very linked to York Minster, which is really interesting because I kept mentioning York. I kept calling it York Minster when I was in there, and so of course, it's interesting, isn't it, that I kept calling it that, and then I find out actually they are linked. So anyway, here in this footage, which I have actually slowed it down by 2%. You can't really tell but I was so fast filming it. Now there's a door here. You can see the stained glass on the right. This is the door, and I went over it and I went exactly this. I did knock, 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 the knock, knock, the dun, dun, dum. You know that kind of knock? I did one of those with this old ancient door hanger on there. And then I was like, Nina, what did you do that for? That was a stupid thing to do. Yeah, I'm there, you can just see me. It was a stupid thing to do. I wholeheartedly admit it. Anyway, looking at this building, I mean, isn't it magnificent? We're actually almost now in. It's not much longer out. Well, we won't be that much longer out here with me voiceovering. Thank goodness. I mean, it really is quite something. But inside, I couldn't speak freely. It's very esoteric. I couldn't say what I really wanted to say. So I am pointing out a lot of things of interest, but I can't say what I really wanted to say whilst I'm in there. So I should go down and film another night when it's not Christmas Eve. Because it was Christmas Eve footage, and I thought it was like gold dust to get, is why I've like persevered with this and been determined to get it up. It looks very wobbly and very shaky, this footage right this second now, but once I get in, I stop rushing like I was on the outside, so it's all normal speed in there. I mean, if I hadn't said this had been slowed down, you probably wouldn't even know, purely because I was only filming outside for about 3 minutes. I was under pressure because it was Christmas Eve and the shops were closing, and didn't really have all the time that I wanted to spend in that. Plus, I'd only asked if I could film for 5 minutes. So it's really interesting anyway, because it's called the Minster of St. George. It's really connected to St. George. And York Minster is Church of England church. I'm just wondering what else I can say. Oh, the rebuild is, like, as you can see, it's really, really... it's not noble, is it? It's very flashy. And it was also rebuilt by George Gilbert Scott, who I believe also... Oh, and the Archbishop from York Minster was one who laid the foundation stone to here. It's got a lot of links to York Minster. And also, the other interesting fact is the clock in here, the clock tower clock, was designed by the same person who made Big Ben, except this one was actually released on the public before Big Ben. So that's a very interesting fact too. I mean, if anyone wants to slow this down, it would be fascinating to see all the turrets properly and the actual architecture properly. I'm almost out of time talking here, really. There's a lot of the usual Masonic and occult architecture in there. There you see the symbol for St. George. And this is going to cut filming time in a moment. We'll be in there in a second. And the second that we get to these doors properly, I have a skim about and show you the roof. And then we will be in, pretty much. And then it's going to go to part 2. Because I'm still on my 15-minute lockdown, so I have to... did ask if I could film. It was done on permission. So I'm hoping that this narration's not too bad and I could upload it. I feel weird narrating like this, but... hope you understand it was this or not release any of the outside, and I don't think the inside has context of seeing the outside too, you know. So thank you for watching. I'll put part 2 in the playlist, or this is my old channel. I'll keep it all in one segment. Thanks for watching. You all take care. All right then. Bye for now. Bye.